Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know, the Hopperites have deduced the whereabouts of Meteon by means of a crystal bequeathed to us by Heidelin herself. Your quarry's location is a place far beyond the moon, in the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, at the edge of creation. Of heritable Ultima Thule. Indeed. How then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Luckily for you, I have an equally excellent answer. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to fuel. But the myriad other facilities housed within would greatly impede travel through the Sea of Stars. Even the Mother Crystal may not possess ether enough to bear so massive a vessel to our destination and back. However, if we integrate our Hyper Hopper into your Aether Burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Father, what does this mean? But bear in mind, this decision was not made solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the Forum. Hearing the Hopperites' proposal, the Forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate to the moon and to resettle on another star. And needless to say, the proposition invited fierce debate. In the end, however, the Forum was swayed by the simple fact that Heidelin believed you possessed of the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Heidelin's own making. Therefore, if in the 11th hour she would proffer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of this star. I need to get a picture of this. That is why we have chosen to place her faith in Heidelin, in you. The Ark will be made ready for your voyage to fuel. What of all the people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare for the evacuation? They must be furious. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on the Magna Glacius, nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of Hedemontite go unnoticed. No, the people do not protest, quite the contrary. They have expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Are the Hopperites too willing to abandon the Exodus? Were you not listening when we said we were born of Heidelin's love for Eris and its people? If it means your survival, we would do anything to help. And you'll most certainly have need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life, an otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Heidelin chose us to lead the way to Tian. Why else would she give you a crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, you were perfectly content to evacuate Aetheris until you brought us here, Urianger. And now we're enamored with the place, so what choice do we have but to save it? Of course, none of this is possible without you and the Scions. So I must ask, are you certain you wish to do this? As everyone looks at me. couldn't stop us if you tried. Very well. We shall inform the Forum of your decision and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with the Hyper Hopper. The Hopper ports will coordinate with the Hildesbard contingent to have necessary components traveled via the Tower of Babel. Oops. Of course, it will take time until the work is complete. For now, pray take your ease. 'Twould seem there is naught to do but rest and prepare. Shall we? Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite, though it is difficult to conceive of how one can best prepare to brave a domain where Dynamis governs all. And nevertheless, Heidelin deemed us worthy of the trials that await. For lack of any other feasible options at this little late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Meteon as we are. Which leaves the not-so-small task of coordinating our efforts here to you and to Taru. If all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so. We will be praying for your safe return. Mayhap it will affect the Dynamis for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest and make the most of the time we've been afforded. Taru? The meeting's over, is it? You were in there for so long I started to worry. What did they have to say? We go to the moon. To the moon! The edge of creation. Oh yeah, I guess we're not going to the moon. We already did that. Rest assured, everything will remain in order until you return. And you will return. Actually, Razia, could I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for the interim are decided. When the two of you have finished, meet us back at the Baldessian Annex. Come with me to the Agora. I have something to show you. Okay. I did not expect to find you here. Hello, Vershan. Vitra. I imagine Nidana would also wish to offer her regards. Alas, after delivering our dragon scales to the engineers, she remained to assist with their work on the Aether Burner. This Malakram too will stay in Shalyan while I oversee matters in Radzat-Han. It is a rather convenient means to keep abreast of developments pertaining to the final days or anything else. It also allows me, after a fashion, to watch over my people in this distant land. Varshan, I was hoping you'd stop by. I can't thank you enough for allowing your artisans to work with me here at the boutique. Please, it is I who should be thanking you. This establishment has restored a sense of normalcy to their lives. You have blessed them with newfound purpose, and a means by which to support themselves in these troubled times. What's more, when they at last return home to Radzat-Han, The experience and knowledge they gained in your employ will no doubt prove a boon to the artistry and commerce of our land. In fact, I came here to see how your new employees are settling in, and to express my gratitude for granting them this opportunity. It's an opportunity for me as well, believe you me. Your artisans have taught me so much about Thavnarian craftsmanship. Their resourcefulness and ingenuity are nothing short of inspiring. I can't wait to see what kind of wonders we come up with. I pray you every success in your endeavors, Mistress Tataru. Before coming here, I heard word of the forum's decision, of what will soon be attempted. It was only then that I finally understood why my father called this star the last bastion of hope. Indeed, it was the last bastion, for the flame of every other star he encountered had likely been extinguished. In the boundless dark, the light of brimming life must have been blinding in its splendor. You journey unto the heavens to protect that light. May the scales of my kin serve you well. I have faith you will prevail, and restore peace and tranquility to this star. Would that Ahawan were alive to see it. I will not see his sacrifice squandered, nor shall I rest until Radzatan is returned to its former glory. Good. Forgive me, but I must take my leave. Fare you well, and remember, the people of this star have not yet given up hope, and neither must you. Where must I go to get a meal with some flavor in this wasteland of taste? I have no clue who's talking at any point anymore, so I'm just going to go with it. Madeleine, I don't want to talk to you. Darn. I don't want to. Go away. I'm not voicing you. Yes, because a man of your station needs something with flair, sure. I really don't care about you. Have you tried Archon Loaf? You can find it in all the shops. Archon Loaf? It sounds sophisticated, like me. I thank you for this. Sucks for you, Madeleine. I do not like you. Go away. Goodbye. You have not once redeemed yourself in my eyes. Oh well, is that Razia and Tataru I spy? Okay, who next? Hancock, I don't really care for you either. Although this music. What are you still doing here? You said you were returning immediately after dropping off your cargo. Yes, that was my original plan. After all, any expertise required aside from the deliveries of goods is well beyond my purview. But what manner of entrepreneur would squander an opportunity to study the markets of the northern seas? Worry not, I will return straight away to Kagane once I have finished. Of course, you would find a way to turn this crisis to your advantage. She wounds me, the industrious woman running a new boutique. I am not blind to the travails of those who fight on the front lines to deliver us from ruin. Indeed, I have every confidence they will succeed, and I would make myself, and my business, ready for their return. If you believe in them so devoutly, then why not put your money where your mouth is? Fair enough, Tataru, fair enough. There is not more I can do to help ready the Ark and her heroes for their maiden voyage. But on your return, I shall host a grand celebration in your honor at the Pakairo Inn. Accommodations are quite costly, given the reputation of said establishment, but the East Aldenara Trading Company would be honored to foot the bill. I appreciate the gesture, but no thank you. A pity. I'm rather fond of the place myself. Nevertheless, I have no doubt we will find another time and cause for celebration soon enough. But let us speak more of this upon your return, lest I draw even more of Tataru's ire. Until next we meet. Goodbye. Go away. Go away. Bye-bye now. Goodbye. Thank you. Can I get someone I actually enjoy talking to, please? Decided to spend your time at the markets, did you? Okay, I'll take this. I approve of this duo. Tataru! Biggs, Wedge, I take it work on the I take it work on the Ark proceeds apace? Aye, it does indeed. Collaborating with the greatest minds of Shalian and Razatan has been a rewarding experience. And that's to say nothing of what we've learned from the Brits. The Ark is unlike anything we've ever had the pleasure to work on. Even Nero was rendered speechless on more than one occasion. I can't wait for you to see it. I mean, I've already seen it. And you'll never guess who paid us a visit before we came to Charlian. Alpha! I think he sensed the coming danger and returned to check on us. Wasn't he with you on the harbor? He was always one to turn up in a time of need, and I suppose that's why he decided to join us here in Shalian. Good thing, too. I don't know how he does it, but he has a knack for brightening your day just by being there. It's still hard to believe that we have the means to send you off into the great expanse, though. To the farthest known reaches of, well, everything. I never thought I'd live to see such marvels, yet here I am. More often than not, you and the science are the catalyst that sparks the need for these great innovations. To think how much I'd have missed out on had I not been a member of the Ironworks. Awful lot of work, to be fair. And the privilege of being worked like a cart chocobo. There is that too. As busy as we've been, I wish there was more we could do for you, Razia. But no matter. But no matter what happens, we have to keep believing for a brighter future. One filled with even more adventure. When you head back, would you tell the engineers I'll be along shortly or with our refreshments? That's very kind of you, Tataru. That's Biggs talking, not Wedge. They'll be glad to hear it. And on that note, Wedge and I should get going. Still a few more supplies to gather before we return. Wedge. Wedge. Are you done yet? Please, no more people. Terribly sorry for the wait. Right this way, if you please. Oh, it is you! Okay. You have a name now. I can appreciate that. I don't believe the two of you have been formally introduced. This is Hasarud from Palikistan. Haven't we met before? Ah, yes, it was you who helped us at Perusa, and again when crossing the icy fields, was it not? I doubt we exchanged little more than glances then, but it is kind of you to remember me. Thanks to Mistress Tataru, I and my friends have found gainful employment in this foreign land. It is only natural to feel fear in the face of calamity. In such times we must look to one another for strength and succor. I know not whether we will come to call this place home or return to Thavnair, but we're here today and are glad to have contributed to the cause. And contribute they did by helping to make your new garments as durable as possible. We put our hearts and souls into them, and I have every confidence they'll keep you safe in the battle to come. They will be glamour just like they always are. No, you give the AF gear, don't you? Gods, to think how far we've come since our humble beginnings at the Waking Sands. From the rising stones to the falling snows. And it's even a certain insufferable someone's ruby bazaar. We were always fortunate to find friends along the way. Even when you were swept away to the first, Grahatia was there to grant you sanctuary. I'll never forget the relief I felt when you all returned to us. I thought my heart would burst. Yours has been a long, long journey, and I've been privileged to watch, often with bated breath, as you persevered time and again. For all the joy we've shared, there's been much sorrow as well. But I've long since learned you can't have one without the other. Which is why I promised to send you off to the seas of stars with a smile. And you can be certain I'll be the first one to welcome you back on your return. I wouldn't have it any other way. In addition to your new ensemble, we have raiments and weaponry for every need. Just please feel free to browse our stock. And that'll push it to the level in Hindy quests, I'm assuming. You may now obtain job-specific gear from Hasarud. The weapons and gear obtained can be equipped at level 89. However, all item stats will be subject to item level sync. Upon reaching level 90 with the corresponding job, these items will no longer be synced. Oh! Furthermore, the gear can be dyed upon completion of the role quests associated with said job. Razia, come to make our trio a quartet, have you? Please, have a seat and we'll see about getting you a drink. I hope all of these cutscenes are voiced. They really should be.
Your business with Tataru is finished.
Can't you see my new... Okay, that tab actually looks
My,
really
what
good.
a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing. Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet
That which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine. But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her.
Just make sure you bring enough ammunition.
Oh, ye of little faith. I know better than to leave home without ample supplies, thank you very much. Didn't pick up the gunblade yesterday. And to think I used to prefer fighting from the shadows. Gods, I really have changed.
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye, we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust has settled.
What with the primals and Asians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies. In all seriousness, though, in uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out. After all, there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much would change. Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
A journey for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess, I too have yearned to see more of the world. If thou art amenable to the suggestion, I would accompany thee. Mine ability to affect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, thou must concede.
Aye, well, improvement is relative. You still look suspicious no matter what you wear. What of you, Ishtola? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally. To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections, to which end I must find a means to travel between worlds. 'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise.
Go back to Runar. Yes.
Should my pursuits prove unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Here's yours. My apologies for the wait.
Thank you.
Well, shall we make a toast? To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
Leaving so soon? I suppose it's for the best. But if you'd rather not explore the bottom of a bottle with Urianger, I dare say the others would welcome your company as well. If you can find them, that is. In any case, as long as you make the most of your time, then that is all that matters. You can always count on your friends to help you maintain perspective. A pity mine take a perverse pleasure in it. I'd like to think I give as good as I get, though I'd fare better with the occasional assist from our consummate nodder. But it's all in good fun. I wouldn't have it any other way. I say, Razia, whence came this simulacrum that standeth beside thee? I see falsely. But Ystrola and Thancred but moments ago employed the self-same doubling magic. All right then. Keep thy secrets. Urianger is drunk, and I am here for it. Oh my word, am I here for it. Hi, Puddingway. Ah, Razia, I have come to this studium in order to study the ways of pudding. Alas, my creations don't jiggle as they should just yet, but I persevere. Precious bean, I love you. Poor Graha. You try speaking with Alice, but she's fast asleep. Both of them are sleeping, oh my word.
Oh,
Hello, Cryle.
knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me. But by the same token, I can't help but worry. Not only for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over. From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love. You deserve all the joy in the world. There is so much that life has to offer. So much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
This feels familiar.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Well,
It's good to be awake.
Wait. What am I? Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
Both of you did.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how embarrassing.
And Alistair just walks off.
Not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word.
I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
Poor Alistair.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
Just enjoying a little peace and quiet. Estinian's not in his armor. What? Surely this isn't the first time you've seen me without my armor. I'm not sure if it is or not.
Oh. What brings you here?
Just going around, seeing how
So
everyone's
you
doing.
were worried that the Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil. All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
Where were you in my hour of need? Fell beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink. The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... It was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today. After all, tomorrow is never promised.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, It's past time we were on our way.
Wait!
Hmm?
Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. Mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me. To have returned here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks.
Oh.
Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit. I am ever grateful.
You were never one to forsake a friend, Alphino.
No, I'm not. And I'm proud of that.
That night at the Royal Menagerie in Alamigo. At the menagerie? Like a strange spot to be at. Oh! Hi, Xenos. Haven't seen you in a while. What the hell's with his arm? What did he do? Oh, that's his. Oh, that's his. Shrouded form.
You never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. In that transcendent moment, what was it that I sought in you? And what was it that you sought in me?
That's interesting. The Day of Reckoning. Too quiet. Don't like it.
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments, from the joyous to the sorrowful.
We've had occasion to call other places home too. Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
I was honored to host this company in the Crystarium, to stand with you all as we confronted the truth of the star itself.
Even then we didn't know the whole truth. Lord.
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all.
The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready.
I had a feeling.
The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel. They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule. Upon arriving, your objective is to find and vanquish Meteon. As a final formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your resolve. So, are you certain you wish to do this?
We've come this far. I'm not backing down now.
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmasane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph.
That's the plan.
What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether. Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph. Triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Let us be off then.
Wait!
Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
You can count on it. Onto the heavens. I suppose this is where we part ways. For now, at least. Would that I had sage words of wisdom to share ere you depart. Mayhap the teachings of Galaf Baldessian will suffice. Surrender not to anger or hatred, he said. Look beyond them, and there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open to interpretation, I think. But for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life. Things I believe are worth fighting for. Something to consider as you venture unto the sea of stars. Oh, that's a lot of alpha. Alpha appears to be trying to cheer you on. Bloop, bloop. Staring intently at the arc. I rolled What do you do here? Okay. Rashan? Man is said to fear what he does not know. Yet you would venture unto the greatest of unknowns. I say to you, daughter of man, that you need not fear. So long as man shares a bond with dragonkind, so too does he share our kinship with the heavens, and our ancient home amidst the stars infinite. I pray you go forth and prove this bond of ours, tempered and tested, shall endure unbroken for 1,000 years. First the great Exodus, and now this. It seems there's no end to our work. In truth, more than a few gleaners were distressed to learn that their earlier efforts were for nothing. It was no easy task convincing them that the new plan was for the best, I can tell you that. I can't tell you every man believes this is the wisest course, but I can say that all will be forgiven if you deliver us from the coming doom. And if you don't, well, at least you won't get the earful. I certainly will. Coltonet? It's no easy thing to say leave the star to us, but we must and we will. As proud members of the Scions, we have a duty to uphold, and we needn't do so alone. Those dark days when we were driven from the Rising Stones and hunted as traitors are a thing of the past. We have allies in abundance now, which is to say, you needn't worry about us. Go forth in the knowledge that the Scions will labor without rest in your absence. Though our fellow Scions couldn't be here, they wanted me to tell you that, no matter what calamity may befall us, they will never give up, and neither should you. No matter how far you may go, we will be with you in spirit. No matter how dark it may seem, your light will shine and endure. Nidana? Mistress Kryl tells me your investigation into my theories on Akasha and its relation to the final days has been made clear the source of our woes. I am elated to know my work was of some benefit, but I could not have shared it had you not rescued me from the tower that day. I yet owe you a great debt, one I may never fully repay, but I shall try nonetheless. Not only through my research, but through my desire to see you succeed, which I believe may influence the Akasha in our favor. Small though the effect may be, yes, so long as we have hope, there is a chance we may influence the outcome of this calamity. But Plavita, we were quite fortunate the Lockbird's hyperhopper was based on principles similar to those of aetherology. Integrating it with the Ark's existing systems may well have been impossible otherwise. We may have Sharlayan's wealth of knowledge at our disposal, but theirs is technology far beyond anything we have ever studied. You are familiar with teleportation magics, yes? The momentary conversion of the body into ether that it may travel via the life stream from one physical point to another. Their hyperhopper enables transport through a similar method, but not one involving the life stream. Rather, it utilizes highly condensed ether to create an ethereal current of its own. This current is exponentially faster and more powerful than the not naturally occurring ones to which we are accustomed, So much so, in fact, that ethereal conversion of the physical form is not a prerequisite for traversal. If you are concerned about side effects, such as ethereal sickness, you needn't be. You should emerge at your destination hale and whole, in theory. At the very least, I can assure you it is safer than the experimental aetherites you use to reach Radzatan. Wolfson? Moonbrita has been on my mind more often of late. How different her life might have been if not for our research into teleportation magics. Perhaps she would never have gained an interest in aetherological studies. But to abandon our work out of misplaced guilt for who she could have been would be a disservice to the memory of who she was. Nay, it was because of her that we found the resolve to carry on, and now we stand at the edge of a new frontier. With a ship ready to bear you unto the distant stars and beyond. This arc is as much her accomplishment as it is ours. I regret nothing. So this is the ship that will bear us unto Ultima Thule. That even when Wolfson and Bovita should be in attendance is most unexpected. But I am nonetheless heartened by their experience, by their presence. This is the pinnacle of aetherochemistry, a synthesis of modern innovation and the ancient wisdom of Allig. The Arc's engine appears to be capable of processing condensed aether in quantities I never thought possible. For so many to see us off like this seems wholly unnecessary. Still, I'll not begrudge them for wishing us well. I wasn't expecting quite so many people to be seeing us off. I'll send word to the Alliance leaders that the very moment the ship takes off. Obviously they couldn't be here, but I'm sure they'll be cheering for you every step of the way. Quite the turnout, wouldn't you say? Then again, who wouldn't want to be present for a once-in-a-lifetime event? They said work on the Ark is finished. You certainly wouldn't know by looking at it. I mean, it does look basically the same. Let us hear what Father has to say. Moving away. The Ark is missing one last, but very crucial component before we are ready to take off. Should be arriving shortly. Okay.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder. But we did it. We finished the ship. It's safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. It's a garland through and through.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Don't mention it. Ever since that episode with Omega, I've been toying with the idea of star-faring vessels. And as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. We've learned a lot, let me tell you. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do. But feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So, have you thought of a name?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Well, seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuno, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
As you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible. From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars. And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisois not fought to protect this world, and in so doing, laid down his life. Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The Starship Ragnarok.
Sorry for the wait. I got everyone you asked for, and not a one less.
What? Oh! Holy crap! Oh my word.
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves.
What? Primals.
Thou wouldst employ summoning, or should I say
Oh,
its precursor,
yeah.
creation magics.
Yep.
Care to explain for our benefit?
As you may have witnessed at Bestways Burrow, the Loporrits are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, 'tis a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
Hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it. A derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loporrit's magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience.
Mm-hmm.
Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Pretty much.
Indeed! Indeed! While Heidelin gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So, borrowing our friend's faith, we'll create deities using the Mother Crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok!
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
Oh, right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Charlian tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into the original and the best, except no substitutes. Don't incorporate any of that rubbish, so there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug, but I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. But none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship. In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods, not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way.
May we have a moment? In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
Portable teleportation devices, one for each of you, designed to work in tandem. Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok. There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Be safe, all of you, and come back.
You as well. I pray you take care.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well. Go, and Godspeed.
Now in the instanced area Ultima Thule. I wish it didn't show that right away, but oh well. I mean, we already knew where we were good gonna be, so. Sleeping way.
Welcome to the bridge, everyone! I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
It's incredible.
This is Fortuno. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site.
The 14th
The gates
phase.
are open. You may depart when ready.
As ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on. The burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly. Try it again, with feeling.
I want Alphino to do it.
Me? But I...
No need to be coy, brother. Do it, and do it well.
If you all insist. Onward unto the distant stars and beyond. Ragnarok, engage. Engage.
Engage!
That was precious, and I love it. Pretty cool that Torn from the Heavens is the song that's playing here. I love that. Well now. Oh! Oh! Lakshmi. Ramu. There's Leviathan. Ravana. Bismarck. Muggle-Mog. Garuda. Susano.
That I must carry landwalkers into the sky. I can't imagine a greater indignity.
Do not sulk so, for thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter.
Lord of the Revel.
Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
Bismarck.
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
And they're just getting absorbed into the Ragnarok. Oh, I love it.